growing up, I always wanted to have something I can call my own, and I didn't see myself, especially as a kid, I didn't see myself constantly just working for somebody for the rest of my life. And if I was gonna have something going on the side for myself that I can call my own, that I built from the ground up.
Welcome back to the Let's Evolve for Tomorrow podcast. I'm your host, Tyrone, and we help aspiring, new, and existing entrepreneurs excel in growing their business. And we do that by inviting other new, aspiring, and existing entrepreneurs to the podcast to give knowledge, gems, and how they overcame struggles in their business. So without further ado, I want to introduce a special guest, my brother-in-law, who I call B, but I'm going to let him introduce himself and just give you a little background.
My name is Brian Reed. I'm the owner of CRB Lawncare Services. I service Pinkerton, Canal Winchester, Reynoldsburg, Gahanna areas. Right now, I've been in business for, I say, since June, so about 3 to 4 months. And as of right now, it's just more so taking it step by step. I'm just really more so mowing lawns. I haven't got off into what I plan on to in the future. But right now, just taking steps into it and just, going through the whole process.
Okay. Do me a favor. Can you fix the cord on there?
Oh,
just stretch it out. So let me ask you this, B. So you said you started 3 months ago.
Mm.
And you mentioned like a few. You said Pickerington, Canal, Winchester. Are those cities? Are they counties?
Oh, cities within Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Perfect. So I guess I'm curious, what actually inspired you to start a lawn care business?
I'll put it this way. It's always something that in me where growing up I always wanted to have something I can call my own. And I didn't see myself, especially as a kid, I didn't see myself constantly just working for somebody for the rest of my life. And if I was going to have something going on the side for myself that I can call my own, that I built from the ground up. So just after years of procrastinating and talking about this, and that, it was just like something just woke up in me like, man, you got to stop talking about it and just doing something, establishing something. Whether it's small, don't worry about how much can I make from this, but just more so something you could call your own, where you could be your own boss, and eventually you can get to the point where you can leave working the 9 to 5 for someone else and putting your all into, something, and putting your all into your own. And one thing about me, I worked plenty of jobs over the years, and I'm real big on making extra money. If I can continue to climb that ladder of increasing my salary, that's what I'm gonna do. Whatever sacrifice that comes with, that's what I'm willing to do. And I'm gonna give you a little backstory of what kind of sparked the fire on me when it comes to working for companies. I work for a company out in Plain City, Ohio, working for Nestle. And I was with them for 5 years, and it was like a 35 to 40-minute commute back and forth. You know what I mean? I hated it, but I could have changed it up, but I stuck it out at that job. I hated it, but it paid the bills, and they gave us like a raise. It was at one period of time back in 2019. I want to say it was like the middle of 2019. They gave us like a raise. It was a big raise. 2 weeks after that, they shut down. They gave us our little severance packages or whatever, and, sent us on our way, which I understood as business. But it kind of sparked in me that I don't owe loyalty to no companies. I mean, I don't want to sound like that. I don't want to be negative, but it's like at the end of the day, it showed me that, you're just another number. You know what I mean? So after that, it was like, okay, my main focus is I owe myself and my family to continue to grow. So fast forward, I had 2 jobs after that, and one job I was trying to get out of because I drive trucks also. I've been driving trucks for 11 years now, but one company I was I ended up working for after Nestle let us go. What happened? I was trying to get out of the whole driving field and get more to like a leadership role. And, I was driving, I was getting off into warehouse responsibilities as far as like working inventory. So I'm going up and down aisles with the laptop, doing cycle counts of what's in the racks, taking on certain little projects pertaining to production. I was doing a little bit of everything, operating forklifts, reach trucks, loading trucks, unloading trucks, everything to prove myself to get out of that leadership role. But at the end of the day, I knew it was going to be a cap when it came to that because of me not having like no degree or anything. So I got turned down twice after being told that, hey, you're qualified for this position. You'll be a good candidate. But, I missed out on two opportunities. So after that, it was kind of like, why waste time, doing all this when I can just, get back to driving full time and get paid the money that I'm looking for. So left that job and, my current job I'm working for now, it's paying pretty good, nice overtime, stuff like that. But it's still something in me like, man, this ain't enough. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? This is not enough. And I don't want to sound like that. Like, I'm grateful where I'm at. I'm able to take care of my family. Things is good. Finances is good. Bills are being paid. My kids don't need for anything. You know what I mean? And plus, the wife is happy. Okay. That's the most important thing.
Absolutely.
But it's just still something in me where it's just like, I don't want to sound messed up for saying this, man, but I don't want to be average.
Okay.
No offense to anybody else, but I grew up, it was constantly just, work, go to work, this and that, then you retire. But I can't see myself working and breaking my back for this to make whoever owns this company rich. And at the end of the day, I retired and I'm living off my 401k. Like, I want more than that. You know what I mean? And, call it what you want, but it's kind of like, you should want that for yourself, where it's like, no, I want more. I'm hungry. I want this. You know what I mean? And my goal is, I'm 32 now. By the time I turn 40, I'm not saying I don't want to have to work. I just don't want to have to work as hard.
Right.
You know what I mean? I got something set up for myself where it's more cushion. It's more comfort there. Mm-hmm. Not saying that I'm not comfortable now, but just, even more comfortable to where it's just like, okay, I know I'm good. I know I could be a foundation for my kids for when they become adults. I can be a help to them, and set them up, So,
well, let me ask you this. Let's take a step back for just a second.
Yeah, my bad. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. So, do you feel like, you say you don't want to be average. So do you feel like starting your own business is the only way to not be average?
Well, I feel like it's just everybody has their own perception on what average is.
Okay.
And with me, I'll put it this way. I missed out on a lot of opportunities in my teenage years and my early 20s. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Just getting off into the wrong things, being around the wrong people. And that still haunts me to this day. Okay. You know what I mean? And, man, you only get one life to live.
So when you say it haunts you, what do you mean by that?
It's a fire that burns in me like, that, we all live with it where it's like, man, that woulda, coulda, shoulda. Or, man, if I would have stuck with this, I'd probably be in a whole nother lane now. You know what I mean?
Do you feel like it's too late?
Certain things, yeah. You know what I mean? Just because of my responsibilities now with my kids, being married. Because that's a whole nother task itself. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Having to being available mentally and physically to be there for your marriage, be there for your children, be able to work and still pay bills. Mm-hmm. So some things are a little bit too late. But yeah, it's just a fire that burns in me of like, okay, you passed up other opportunities. Whatever else comes your way, you have to take it on, especially if it's something that you really want to do.
Right.
Work hard at it.
So the name of your company is CRB Lawn
Yeah.
Services?
CRB, Lawn Care Services. Yeah.
Lawn Care Services. So was this your first entrepreneurial journey?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
Okay. So I'm gonna like pull back the layers a little bit, right?
Got you.
So this was the first time you decided to step out and try something outside of working your 9 to 5.
I'm glad you reminded me of that. But yeah, I forgot all about that. But yeah, me and a buddy of mine, he had his own semi.
Okay.
And he was pulling for a company. And at the time I was working for another company. I was over the road, and me and him I jumped on board with him, and we did that. I was on board with him for about, I'd say, almost a year, and we were making runs from Michigan to Texas, or like Michigan to California and stuff like that. It went pretty good, you know what I mean? But things kind of went sour after a while, you know what I mean? I feel like it was a learning experience for both of us, and certain things were unexpected.
Okay.
So it didn't work out. So eventually I moved away from Michigan, because I'm originally from Michigan.
Okay.
Moved here to Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
And I want to say a couple years into Columbus, I did, now that I think about it, when I moved to Columbus, I did try to establish something else before I got off into the lawn care service.
Okay.
But I bought me a cargo van.
Okay.
And I wanted to get off into delivering whatever I can pick up, because, go ahead.
Sorry, no, just really quick. I want to go back to the trucking thing. So was it his business, or did you two go into business together?
No, it was his business.
Oh, okay.
But the plan was to get everything situated with that truck, get that out the way, purchase another truck, and just continue on down the line until we built a nice set of fleet.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha. So, okay, going back to the box truck, what made you even purchase a box truck? Like, where did that come from? Did you just wake up one day like, you know what, I'm going to buy a box truck?
No. It was kind of something that was on my mind for a nice little minute, because I want to say either maybe before the pandemic or a little bit after the pandemic, it was big for like box trucks and cargo vans. So I was like, okay, damn, all right, well, let me look into trying to get me one. I got to jump off the porch and do something.
Okay.
So I bought me a cargo van, and I didn't do my research. And I learned that that's an important thing when you want to step off and do something. You got to do your research. So I purchased the van, but when it came down, and I knew about different freight sites that I can, make a bid and pick up a load. But I went to all these different sites, and those companies weren't paying too much of anything, and it was hard to find loads that can be reasonable. From me picking up something out of Ohio, going somewhere in another state that was close by, and making a trip coming on back, it was just ridiculous loads, and they weren't really paying too much or nothing for it. So me running the business, I want my business to be able to pay for itself.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So when it got to the point where I only kept it for a month.
Okay.
I'll put it that way. And when it got to that point where, it wasn't doing anything for me, I tried to be patient. I probably could have been a little bit more, but take it back.
Did you buy it outright, or did you finance it?
I financed it.
Okay.
Yeah, financed it. And I took it on back.
So do you feel like you gave it enough time?
Probably
for the
not.
business to work?
Probably not. And that's another thing, patience.
Okay.
I feel like that's something I'm growing to. I'm learning to have now, is more patience, just with anything.
Okay.
Because a lot of times, you being impatient, you miss out on something. You know what I mean? So, no, I wasn't patient at that time. It was like, man, this ain't making me no money, man. Go and get it out of here. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay. So I want to ask you another question. I know we talked about how you were marketing your business. And you said that you're not really marketing right now. So when it comes to social media, are you comfortable with it?
Yeah, oh yeah. I'm definitely comfortable with it. I guess a lot of times, and I need to get out of this mindset, but you expect for, like, I look at it this way: in order for you to market something and get it out there, your people that your people are supposed to push that out there for you. You know what I mean?
So when you say your people, what do you mean?
Like okay, say for instance, you could put something on Facebook, but how far is it gonna go compared to me going up to someone's property or giving out business cards or something like that? Like, it's cool. I feel like social media is cool when it comes to what I'm trying to do. If you want to look me up, you know what I mean. But marketing it out there and expecting for a lot of people to see it, it's a possibility. You know that might not be the case. But that's me not thinking outside the box as well.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I marketing is, pretty much getting it out there as much as you can to where it's like, man, I see this all the time. Let me see what he's talking about. So, it's just a fault on my end.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a second, because I think about Lawncare as like a barbershop, right?
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
When you go to cut someone's lawn, they want to know, can you cut? Can you line up?
Yep.
Right?
No, definitely. Definitely.
Can you cut? Can you line up? So if that's the case, when you pull up to someone's lawn, they want to know, can you cut? Can you line up?
Yep.
So if you know you just moved to Columbus and you're looking for a barber, and you're like, you're going to do two things. If he has social media, you're going to go to his social media and look at his face. Look at his edge ups, right?
Yeah.
You're going to go to the shop and sit in the chair. And if there's multiple barbers sitting in front of you, you're going to sit there for a while and look, okay, this is how he cuts. He can't fade. He can't line up. Oh, he's pretty cool. He talks too much, right? Those are probably things that may go through your head, right?
Yeah, most definitely.
So with your lawn care business, do you think that it would be, just thinking about it from that perspective, do you think it would be advantageous for you to put your work on social media so people can see that you're true to your craft and that you take it serious?
I never looked at it that way, but it makes sense. That'd definitely be something I would have to consider. Well, not consider. I need to just go ahead and do it. You know what I mean? Because like you said, it's all about presentation. You know what I mean? So yeah, no, it's definitely something I have to go out and do and get out that little negative mindset. Because what I was just saying was a negative mindset. So yeah.
I'm on social media, and I'll see a guy that'll sit in a chair. He could be homeless or just hasn't had a haircut in 2 months. But then they show the before, and then they spin the chair around, and you see the after. You're like, wow, I didn't even think that was possible.
Yeah.
Right? So, and honestly, just a thought, right? My 2 cents for what it's worth is to do the same thing, to be able to show your work, your before and after. Because people will see you consistently, showing up consistently. Just like, think about it this way. Your way of showing up physically, the people in that block and in that neighborhood, they're seeing CRB lawn care services. They see you showing up consistently. So they're like, man, he's about his business. Social media is just a digital way of CRB lawn care services showing up every time.
Got you.
So eventually, you want them to be to the point where you show up so much, when they think lawn care, they think CRB lawn care services.
Yeah. They can't get it out their head. You beat it in the head.
Like a commercial.
No, that's definitely something I gotta really take heed to.
So as far as like another thing too, when people want to contact you, right? So you have your social media right now. You just have your email address. Do you feel like, would you want people calling you on your personal line?
It's no problem. As of right now, it's no problem. I can't speak for later on down the road, but as of right now, no, it's no issue.
Okay. How do you answer your phone?
How do I answer it?
Yeah.
What you mean?
So I need my lawn cut, and I call your cell phone. How do you answer the phone? Do you answer hello?
Yes.
Okay. So if I have to level your yard, it's going to cost you, to say, $10,000, and you call me, and I say hello, do you want to give me $10,000?
No. Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you why I'm asking. I'm asking because there's ways for us to level up our game without spending a lot of money,
Got you.
right? You know, you have resources out there where you can get a phone line, a separate phone line, without getting a separate phone
Got you.
for like $10 a month. So when those calls come through, you know that it's business related.
Yeah.
And you can answer the line, CRB Lawncare Services, as opposed to hello, because just like your dad told you, presentation, right? So if you're pulling up with the SUV, pulling out the lawnmower from the back, it's just like a client calling you and you answering the phone, hello.
Got you.
Yeah. So I guess, do you think it's a bad thing to look at things from a customer perspective?
No, it's definitely not bad. I feel like it helps you. Okay. You know what I mean? Just like right now, this conversation. I feel like us having this conversation is what's helping me, like, okay, maybe that's something you need to consider. You know what I mean? Like, not looking at it in a negative way, but it's like, no, what he's saying makes sense. He actually put me on game. You know what I mean? Like I said earlier, presentation is everything. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. But no, you definitely got to look at it from a client standpoint. You know what I mean? And that's what I try to do when I apply work. It's like, okay, would you like this? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Okay, yeah, they paid me the money to do this, but it's like, okay, at the end of the day, would you like this? Would you want to go outside in the morning and see this every day? Mm-hmm. So, no, fix it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so CRB, what does that stand for?
Oh, CRB stands for Certified Read Boys.
Certified Read Boys. Mm-hmm. Okay, where'd that name come from?
It was something me and my cousin set up. We always, growing up, we always felt like we came from a strong background, of tough, tight-knit family, you know what I mean? And we valued that as kids, you know what I mean? So we started that just to be able to carry on as the new generation of reads and just keep that foundation and build off that foundation. So I carry that along with me. I got it tatted on me and everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you started your lawn care business back in June, right?
Yes.
So you started back in June. Mm. How did you start? Like, what was that humble beginning? What actually pushed you off the porch to say, I'm about to do this? So two questions. What point did you get to? You said, okay, I'm going to make this happen. What actually made you jump off the porch? And what was the starting point? What was your first step?
Well, what got me just saying go for it was I got tired of always saying, like, which I don't ever voice that to people outside of my household.
Okay.
So a lot of times me and my wife, we had these conversations. I'm always coming up to her like, hey, I want to do this. I'm just tired of this. I want to go ahead and do this. But after a while, it was kind of like, man, like I said, it's always something to just go off in me where it's like, stop talking about it, man. Do it. You know what I mean? Like, don't live your life. And I grew up around that as well, where you hear that, not necessarily just from family, but, oh, yeah, when this gets set up, yeah, I'm going to do this, do that, and it never comes around. And that was always kind of like a disappointing thing to me, and I want to be able to lead by example to show my kids, like, you got it in your mindset, you want to do something, long as it makes sense. Because I feel like with us, a lot of people, especially social media, make you feel like you can do anything, but at the same time, certain circumstances in life will cause you where it's like, wow, I can't, you really can't, you don't have the time for this, or your situation is not set up to do this. Mm-hmm. So I just want to lead by example. So it's like, all right, well, okay, only thing I know and I've been doing for a while is driving trucks. I like to get off into the whole fitness world, but I felt like that wasn't consistent.
Okay.
So it's like, all right, well, I mean, I worked on houses before, and I can cut yards pretty decent. So it's like, all right, well, you know what? Let me get my lawnmower. I only had a push lawnmower.
Okay.
Push mower, and I had a weed eater and a blower. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, man,
gas or electric?
Gas. Okay. Well, gas mower. Electric weed eater, and which it always coming through the clutch for me. Okay. And a gas weed eater.
So you say electric
gas blower.
electric weed eater, the one that you have to plug up.
No, the weed whacker.
Well, you said it's electric, so it's a battery
Oh,
operated?
battery operated. My bad.
Okay.
Yeah, battery operated.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
I'm like, man, are you allowed to like pull up to someone's house and plug it?
no, I definitely want to do that. But I'm like, man, forget it, man. What's the worst that what's is that's not really gonna take too much out of me, and I ain't got to spend a lot of money to do it. I mean, I already got something I could start off with. So now, mind you, this is on top of me working 55 to 60 hours a week at my 9 to 5.
Wow.
But I know it's like, okay, I know I need to keep that consistent check coming in, so I'm gonna stick this out. But on the weekend or even throughout the week, if I can, let me go try to hit up a couple yards.
Okay.
So it was kind of like, okay, I know to do it, I can't be scared to go talk to people.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, so how did I run across my first client? So what I did was I created business cards, and I talked to certain people that I worked with.
So how did you create them? Did you go to like Staples or did you go online?
How did I do it? I went to a site, which my wife she does that that work for me as far as the business, as far as the office type stuff. I just go out in the field, you know what I mean?
Right.
But what was the site called? But I did it I got it from off of a site. I want to say it was a site that you gave me.
Okay. Could have been Staples, Vistaprint, something like that.
I think it was Vistaprint.
Okay.
So I printed off some business cards. Matter of fact, it was my coworkers from my last job. They looked out for me. It's a couple.
Okay.
They looked out for me. They were actually my first clients. You know what I mean? They wanted to support what it is that I was trying to get off the ground. So I started cutting them. But I was coming over to the house. I didn't have no trailer. I didn't have a zero turn or nothing like that. I'm pulling the mower out the trunk.
Okay.
Hold on.
What do you drive?
I drive a Durango,
okay.
SUV. You know
what I mean? I had pulling up in a 4-door car, taking it out the
no. And the crazy thing about it is I had a pickup truck.
Okay.
But I got rid of it, but I didn't know I was gonna be getting this started. Okay. But if I knew I was doing that, I would have kept the pickup. I'm like, So I put it in my SUV.
Okay.
So got them right or whatever, and that was that. But I noticed that in the area, you get people that come outside because this is a new development area. But people will come outside, and they're like looking down the street at me, and I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm looking tacky right now. Okay. You know what I mean? Nothing against nobody. It is what it is. You got to do what you got to do.
Exactly.
But it's like, all right, well, I wonder, am I taking the right approach? Because, matter of fact, even the couple that looked out for me, I guess they expected something different when I pulled up to the house.
Did they say something to you? Or?
Well, it was like oh, I thought you had a zero turn. You know what I mean? Here it is, and this is a nice area too. Here it is. I'm coming up pulling up more out the trunk.
Right.
So
humble beginnings.
Yeah, definitely humble beginnings. So I called my after that my dad. So originally, what gave me the idea, my dad, he lives in at the time he was living in Texas. He had a more Lawncare service, and he had like 40 clients.
Okay.
And it was pretty successful for him. So it was kind of like, dang, I could probably cut some yards. But anyways, I always get my business advice from him from time to time as well, because he's in that same field. So I called him. I said, I'm telling him how everything going. So he said, "Do you got this and that?" I'm like, "Nah, Dad. All I'm doing is I'm pulling the mower out the SUV."
So what did he ask you? Did you have
what did he ask me? He said, "You got a pickup?" I'm like, "Nah, I got rid of the pickup." "Well, why you get rid of the pickup? That don't make no sense." So I said, "Well, I got rid of the pickup not knowing I was going to get a business started." Like a little bit after I got rid of the pickup, I was like, "Oh, let me get a lawn care service started." He was like, "You got a trailer?" Nah, I ain't got no trailer. He's like, he was like, you got a zero turn? Nah. It's like, so what you doing? I said, I'm just pulling up to the house, pulling the mower out there.
Right.
He's all right. He said, and my dad, he military, he retired out the military, special forces, drill sergeant. So he, he got that straight cutthroat. He gonna tell you how it is. So he was like, well, he said, well, you got it all wrong. You want to look like what you want to attract. So if you want to attract business, you got to look up to par.
Exactly.
He's like, man, you don't want to be pulling up to nobody's house, pulling the mower out the SUV.
Right.
You know what I mean? People. You don't want people. What did he say? People don't know whether you gonna cut their grass or break into their house.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, Dad. You're right. I gotta,
Like the maintenance guy stopping by.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So he was like, he broke it down to me how he ran his business. Like all his guys, they wore the coveralls with the name tags on them. He has dually pickups. He has the closed in trailers. I think he said he had like 4 to 6 zero turns. And when he goes up to, he goes into like nice, well off areas. And he comes with the clipboard. And, he does his business, but people look at him, they respect him like, okay, I can do business with this guy.
Yes,
so it made me
look.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it made me look at myself like, yeah, I am looking mad, tacky. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, cool. So shortly after that, I had got I say probably like a week or so after that, I went to go purchase my trailer, my zero turn, and a second. I already had a second mower, so I got two push mowers.
Okay.
So 2 push mowers. I purchased my my zero turn and my trailer, and I want to say that was it because I got everything else as far as other little yard tools and stuff.
So just curious. So when you say you went to purchase a trailer and zero turn, which I'm sure wasn't cheap. So did you pay cash for it?
No, I actually a credit card.
Okay.
I had a credit card through Lowe's.
Okay.
So I did all my purchasing through Lowe's.
Nice.
So
essentially, you bought the equipment, put it on your Lowe's card, so you have the opportunity to pay it down monthly.
Yes.
As opposed to just taking a chunk out of your savings account or out of your checking and paying it off.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, I want my business to pay off that. Okay. Not me taking that out of my 9 to 5. You know what I mean?
Smart.
So right now, any money that I make from the business, I put that back into the business as far as paying this equipment off. So I'm expecting it to be a situation where, probably for a couple of years, I'm not putting money in my pocket from it, but paying the business back, putting money aside for maintenance and stuff like that. Because I got to, those are more important than me trying to keep money in my pocket, or because it's just me running the business by myself. So I don't have to pay workers. Then I got a 9 to 5, so I could take care of my bills at home and make sure my family is good.
Right.
So, yeah.
And the reason I asked for, just for the listeners, just aspiring entrepreneurs or somebody who's new right now or getting ready to jump out there just like you did back in June, figuring out like, man, I don't want to pull up with my lawnmower in the back of my SUV, so what can I do? Some people are thinking that, where am I going to come up with this money?
Yeah.
As opposed to, okay, I have this credit card, Lowe's credit card, whatever kind of credit card that I can put it on there and slowly but surely pay it off.
Yeah.
So just keeping it practical for the listeners and inspiring other people.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I'm learning as well. Like paying for things cash is cool, but you definitely don't want to break the bank, to do it. You know what I mean? Now it's kind of like, you hitting yourself pretty hard because you want to, I'm going to just pay cash everything. So I'd rather take that route. I mean, that's just the route I prefer to take.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Especially if you don't have the money to go ahead and buy that right on out.
Right.
So, yeah.
So what are some of the key challenges that you've had to overcome transitioning from just working full time? Because I thought I heard you say you work 50 to 55 hours a week on your job, and then you're working your business on the weekend, or if you can squeeze in a job throughout the week. So what are some of the key challenges that come along with that, and how have you overcame those things?
I can't lie. It's not too many challenges I face. I'm just, making time out to relax on top of taking time out with family. But, by the grace of God, I got a wife who understands. You know what I mean? I'll put it this way. She's old fashioned. And what I mean by that is she understands that I'm taking on something that's going to make things better for us. You know what I mean? Bring in more money. Bring the bacon home. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, as long as I'm bringing money home, she's going to support it. You know what I mean? Which I always check with her and make sure she's accepting to it and understands it before I go do anything.
Right.
My kids, they understand for the most part. My kids are busy anyways with sports, and I got my oldest, she works and, does sports. So my kids, they're not too much tripping off, what I'm doing. But it's just, at this point, it's just making time to get rest and recharge that battery. So when I go back to work, through the week, and then on the weekend, knock a couple yards out. But I set it up to where I get up early in the morning, get my yards out the way. That way I still got the rest of my afternoon and evening to, spend time with family or do what I want to do. Because, at the end of the day, I'm learning too, with you being busy, you definitely got to take that time off for yourself to keep your sanity. You know what I mean? Because it can get, as of right now, I can see it's going to be probably a little stressing after a while once I pick up more clients. Because right now, just within a couple months of me starting, I have 3 consistent clients.
Okay.
And I feel like that came into play because I look more up to par now. So now when I go cut a yard, I got people pulling up to me. I haven't necessarily had to go knock on someone's door yet.
Okay.
But, people see, they like my work. They like, because I take it serious as far as edging. And I feel like that's the important part, edging and making sure you leave it, you clean up well. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I've been getting people coming up to me, wanting me to cut their yards and stuff like that. So I give them a business card. Some people I hear back from, some I don't. But at the end of the day, I'm learning to embrace the journey. Like I was telling you earlier, embrace the journey, whether it's good or bad, and just trust the process. So I'm not stuck, oh, man, I got to make some money. I got to make some money. It's just like, okay, I'm starting here. I'm taking my baby steps. Right now, like I said, I'm more so focused on, okay, cutting and edging. The next thing is snow removal, leaf pickup, tree cutting.
Oh, okay.
What else? Landscaping, like putting down mulch and doing the whole little setup. Man, I want this to grow pretty good for me. That way I can leave my 9 to 5. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
So when it comes to overcoming those key challenges, like if the kids have sports that they're involved in, or the missus want to have a family getaway or just an intimate getaway, how are you balancing your business and those things that may come up?
Okay, so like for instance, I have one client that I cut her every Sunday.
Okay.
And like say for instance, like me and wife have date night, which that's something we try to keep consistent once a month. So if we plan on going out Saturday, I mean I only got to cut my main, like say, okay, I cut my main lady on Sunday. So we gonna have our date night Saturday. And if it's a situation where it leads into Sunday, I might cut my client on Friday.
Okay.
Like I'm always transparent with my clients to where it's like, hey, well, I got this going on, or can I squeeze you in here? Oh yeah, cool. Come by. Cool. Cut them, make that time off for family, and then they go back to the regular scheduled program after that.
Okay.
So it's just, just switching around things and just making sure I'm staying ahead of the game, marking my calendar and, okay, I cut this yard this day. Okay, let me make sure, okay, I probably can fit her in through the week, get her out, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
So do you use the calendar on your phone or calendar at home on the wall?
A calendar on my phone and on the wall at home. Yeah.
So I'm assuming, well, that's a good thing because I'm sure the family can look at the calendar.
Yeah.
And they know, okay, well, let's not plan on this day because husband or dad has something going on. So let's try to work around his schedule if we can.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So how do you market your business?
Um, as of right now, it's been off word of mouth.
Okay.
I have put my information out on you ever heard of the Next Door app, right?
Yeah.
I put my information out on there, Facebook marketing. What else? I want to say that's it because, like I said, a lot of things has been, word of mouth. Or, I'll refer you to my friends over here, or my grandmother needs to. I just had a lady reach out to me because she liked my work and she wants me to cut her grandmother.
Okay.
So yeah, just really it's been word of mouth, and then people riding past me doing the yard like, hey, I want you to come cut my yard.
Okay.
Because I get to it early. I'm early in the morning. I'm pulling up to your house 8, 9 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm getting to it. So
Right.
yeah.
So do you have a plan to start marketing more here soon, like using social media?
Yes, I definitely plan on using. I'm actually gonna get a Facebook and I wouldn't say IG, but more so a Facebook page going to get that out there. And I actually plan on taking like contract jobs.
Okay.
I plan on aiming for that next year.
Nice.
Because I see a lot of businesses that need some work done, and it seems like it's hard for them to find work. So yeah.
All right. So I'm going to ask you a question that a lot of people are curious about. When you hit that pivotal point, meaning business is starting to go well for you, and now you're like, okay, I can't squeeze in any more days on the weekend because you still got to find time for your wife, you still got to find time for the kids, you still got to have personal time, like you said, to kind of get your mind together before you go back to work on Monday. How do you decide when it's time to let go of the full-time job and transition into your business full-time?
If it can match pretty much what I'm making now, or unless I see where I'm picking up big business in residential areas, then I might take that leap of faith.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I already had that discussion with my wife, and she's on board for it as long as she can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you feel like right now, just operating on the weekend, that you'll get enough clients on the weekend to see the vision of you leaving the full-time job? Or do you feel like you would have to not only have jobs on the weekend, but throughout the week in order to get there?
I'll say both jobs on the weekend and through the week for me to really be like, all right, yeah,
Okay.
this is where it's at.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So what do you feel sets you apart, right? There's a lot of competition out there, a lot of other lawn services. And of course, these questions really are geared toward someone else who's looking to start a lawn care business, or someone that's probably in the same position where they work full time, they have a spouse, they have children, and they're like, okay, well, man, what am I going to do to set myself apart? Every time I ride down the street, I see 6 other lawn companies on the same street.
I got you. I'll say good customer service,
Okay.
being efficient, and treating that person's lawn like you want your lawn to be treated.
Okay.
And I'm real big on customer service when it comes to anything. I don't like to lowball anybody or give them horrible service, because at the end of the day, just like the money that they're giving you, they work hard for that. The money I'm giving you, I work hard for it. It's the same thing with them. So anybody's yard that I take on, I make sure I apply my best effort, because at the end of the day, I'm treated like how I want my house to be treated. I want to be able to step outside every day and be happy to see my lawn, because I feel like your lawn is part of what makes you feel good about your home.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And if that ain't together, you pulling up, man, I'm about to go. You know what I mean?
The curb appeal.
Exactly.
Right.
So yeah. I feel like those are the 3 things.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
So give me a success story. So you've been on your journey for 4 months now. Share a success story with us.
As far as when it comes to the business,
Yeah.
I'll say, to me, just reeling in the consistent clients I have now, and just getting the reaction to them, appreciating the work that I do.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And it's like, I'm gonna refer you to somebody else. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? I'm cheesing. I got the Joker smile after a while. You know what I mean? So yeah.
So when you're going out and you're cutting lawns, do you ask like how they want their grass cut? Because some people, they want it low, some people want it high, some people want their grass cut where the lines are facing a certain way, or maybe have the diamond shape in their yard.
Yeah, I definitely try to communicate with them when it comes to that. Some clients is just cut my yard, make it look good. You know what I mean? And if I notice that you have like real good grass, I always double check this. How low do you want it? Do you want to cut a certain type of way? Do you want me to get some of these weeds out your way? So yeah, I definitely communicate with certain things, and like I said, I just I study the yard first before I make a decision on what I'm gonna do. And it's like, well, what about this?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
All right. So what are some failures and setbacks that you've experienced since you've been in business?
Failures and setbacks. I can't really say right now because I'm still fresh.
Okay.
Or
even challenges.
Just the availability to be able to go out there and reach out to people on who might need services, because like I said, my 9 to 5 is what is my main focus. I mean, me trying to maintain my 9 to 5,
of course,
is what's getting in the way of it. So, because in reality, I want to get up every day 7, 8 o'clock in the morning and go find some yards to do. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I like the whole journey I'm taking right now, starting from the bottom on up. So it's no rush at this point.
Okay, so you said there's no rush, right? But at some point, you're gonna have to get out there and market, right?
Right.
So how do you plan on actually making some type of change or adjustment to continue to put yourself out there? Because right now, it makes perfect sense. You have the 9 to 5, you got to bring home the bacon, you got to pay the bills. But what's that transition point? Not even necessarily leaving the job, just getting to the point where you're able to market a little bit more so you can see the growth of your business.
I guess, like I said, more so just going for those commercial businesses.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because I know that's consistent work. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, I land something like that. It's like, all right, cool. I got to make sure I'm really available for this. Okay. You know what I mean? And then as far as like I do want to target like new development areas, because my main focus is, I'm open to cutting anyone's yards, but I know like senior citizens, single moms and stuff like that. I know, those are the ones that need service. Not saying you could just pick out who, you know what I mean, but yeah, just reaching out to businesses and hopefully going to certain events where it's opening for networking.
Okay.
It's open for networking.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And just going out there to talk to people, because what I can say is I feel like this has kind of built the hunger for me to where now I want to go talk to people.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I'm not necessarily a social butterfly.
Right.
But it's kind of like, hey, you want this business, you want it to grow, get out your comfort zone.
Exactly.
So, and I like it. Like I like those challenges and stuff like that, and having conversations with people. I call it social sparring.
Okay.
You know what I mean? To build up your confidence to where you can go just talk to random people, as long as it makes sense.
Right.
Like, it's a time and place for everything.
So when you say contracts, what type of contracts were you referring to?
Possibly the what do you call them? Is it government contracts?
Okay, so like government contracts, corporate contracts.
Yeah,
Okay.
yep.
No, that's actually a good move.
Mm.
And, just to kind of revisit that, man, I think that's a great strategy, especially someone in your position. And what I mean by that is the fact that you work full time, you have your family. Right now, you're working your business on the weekend. And if you can squeeze it in throughout the weekend, you're like, man, okay, I know I need to market more. But how am I going to do that? Because once I fill my weekend up, I still need to get more business throughout the week. I can't do that because I'm at work. But if you're going for these corporate contracts and they say, okay, yeah, you won the bid, then you say, okay, is that going to be enough money to sustain my family if I walk away from my full-time job?
Right, right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So what
Yes,
type
sir.
of advice would you give to someone who's looking to start a landscaping business or a lawn care business? Things that you've learned along the way, the tricks, the traits, what to avoid, what to actually embrace, that type of advice.
Break through that wall of fear. Because what Will Smith say, on the other side of fear is success.
Okay.
I know I'm big on overthinking.
Okay.
I know I'm not saying dive off the porch face first, but don't overthink. Get past that fear, and just, even if you don't know where you're going, and this might sound crazy, but where I'm at with it is like, even though I don't know where this gonna lead me to, but I'm just gonna keep pushing forward.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because sometimes I've had my days, even before I started the business, like, man, I talk to God like, man, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where I'm going.
Right.
But I know I got to keep pushing forward. Because what does it say? Faith without
Works is dead.
works is dead.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? So I keep that in mind. Like, okay, I'm gonna pray. After that, I can't continue to hold on. That I gotta get out here.
Right.
You know what I mean? I got my kids that depend on me. You know what I mean? So I gotta just keep pushing forward.
So would you say that burning desire from a kid is still kind of inside you? Like, man, I told myself when I was young, when I was a kid, that I was going to make something of myself. I was going to start my own business. Would you say that still fuels you to this day?
Still to this day.
Okay.
Still to this day.
Why were you so inspired to start your own business when you were young? Like, what is it that really just like, you know what, when I get big or when I'm grown, I'm going to do da-da-da-da-da?
Just, man, you want to have something how can I put it? Where you stick out from the rest.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like, man, Breont Reed, he's a top this and that, or he has his own business. I always, ever since I was a kid, I wanted to stick out from everybody else.
Why?
Just because my pops, God rest his soul, he always,
It's your dad or your grandfather?
that's my grandfather.
Okay.
Yeah. He always instilled on me being your own leader. Don't walk with the crowd. You take your own path. You know what I mean? And I always been like that. So it's just like, now, like, I want to be able to have something I could be proud of, and I can go to my grave knowing I exhausted every option in my life and I worked hard. Okay. You know what I mean? I want to go to my grave exhausted, like, hey, I'm ready to sleep. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah, that still burns up in me. I can't settle for working a 9 to 5 and just retiring off of that. Like, whatever it is, I want to, whether it's businessman, being the best husband I could possibly be the best father I can be. Like, I want to leave something behind where people still talk to me like, man, that was a dope dude, man. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's next, right? Lawn care season is coming to an end here soon. So what's your very next step? Like, how do you transition into the next season or the next phase of your business?
Studying it more.
Okay.
Because I feel like in order for you to be successful at something, and this is just from, experiences in the past, you got to be a student of something in order to be successful at it.
Exactly.
You got to be a student.
Okay.
You can't be that person that, you can't learn anything new, because there's always something new that you can learn. So studying it more and just sitting down with the wife talking about different, strategies I can take, to help this business grow.
Okay. So when you say study it, how would you study it?
Learning about, maintaining my equipment, different marketing ideas I can take, businesses I can target, networking with, different companies that sells equipment, just stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So is there any other advice you want to share? Anything else that you want to say to add value?
No, man, that's pretty much about it, man. Just be a student of the game and, try to perfect your craft. I mean, whatever it is, whatever field you decide to take. Because I feel like at the end of the day, we how can I put it? A lot of times, man, we don't have those special skills that we can take and make money off of it. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times you might just run across something that you might have interest in, or you just happen to fall into it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And it just seemed like, maybe this might be something I could possibly do. Something you never thought you would do.
Right.
But you could still learn and potentially be good at it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just about, and you said in your videos as well, what is it?
So while you're thinking about that, if someone wanted to get in contact with you, someone in the Columbus area, Pickerington, Canal Winchester, how can they get in contact with you if they wanted any of your services, Lawncare, any type of landscaping?
You can email me at crblawncareservices@gmail.
Yeah, we'll make sure we put that down in the description.
Okay. And as of right now, that's it. I guess I can put my number on here.
Okay, if not, we'll just, include everything in the comments, whatever information you want to put out there.
Yeah, okay. Got you. Yeah, so yeah, my email, but like you said, everything will be, Got you.
So, again, we have CRB Lawn Care Services. I want to make sure I say that right.
Yeah.
Service in the Columbus area. So if you do have any lawn care needs, fall season is coming up. If you need your leaves raked, wintertime is coming up. If you need your driveway or your sidewalk plowed, make sure that you reach out to CRB Lawn Care Services. We'll include all of the contact information down in the description. And hey, we want to thank you for joining the Let's Evolve for Tomorrow podcast, where we help aspiring, new, and existing entrepreneurs excel to the next level by inviting other entrepreneurs onto the podcast to give knowledge and gems and tell you how to overcome some of those challenges. We'll see you next time.